Welcome to 25. I'm going to shout at you. Spirit made me do it. It ain't me. Don't shoot the postman. No, seriously, happy 25. And why I'm saying that? 24 was quite a ride, I want to say. And depending where we are at with it, it was either quite a series of learning curves or quite one smack after the other. Either way, it was an experience, let's put it that way. And 2025 has quite a different kind of energy. But at the end of the day, no matter what energy comes our way, what energy people hold, the year holds, the environment holds, the determining factor of how this year is going to be is us. The year is going to be as good, as bad, as complicated, as sad, as horrible, as upside down, or as fudged up as we make it. So, and this year is also, and this energy is also about the reminder about it's all up to us. And not as a burden, not as a job, and it's definitely not as a punishment, even though I already see the eyebrows going like, yeah, right, did you see my story? Yeah, I did. So did the universe. So also, who started this year with New Year's resolutions? No one. The perfect liars. Perfect liars. Who was I going to eat differently? I'm going to do this more and I'm going to do this less, and none of it. I'm going to rest more.
I wouldn't say resolutions, things I'd like to work towards.
Okay, work towards. To change things. So the thing is, resolutions, I'm actually glad that we have an entire room without resolutions. You guys are so advanced. I love that. Because resolutions are really totally unnecessary stress anyway, because resolutions are dangerous. It gives us the message of we're not enough and we need to do something better in order to, I don't know, gain something that someone out there is going to tell us is good enough or not, which is definitely not a good thing. 25, if you want it to be about more or working towards 2, then it should be not about I need to be better at this or I need to be better at that, or I'm not good enough at this or I'm not good enough at that. It should then be, if it is about more, then it should be about more kindness towards yourself. Now, that's the thing about kindness. I know a lot of kind people. The thing they forget, though, is they don't include themselves. They're kind to the world. The kindest, sweetest, most giving people. But kindness is only real kindness if it includes you. This is a year where extend the kindness, or even better, start it with you. What goes in comes out. And if you're the one starting it with you, you're going to have way more resources. Because at the end of the year, what are we short of? Resources. Mind, body, and soul. We exhausted beyond just a good night's sleep, if we even still sleep. I'm not going to ask how many people have sleeping issues, because we obviously don't have those issues. We normalize being out of sync. And this is because kindness got to include us. Service to others, beautiful. But if the others are like the people-pleasing, everybody familiar with people-pleasing? People-pleasing, but normally is used as people are the others. Who am I? People-pleasing is always exclusively aimed at others. Have you ever noticed that? And we hardly ever say no there. So if they're the people, what am I? An alien that dropped out somewhere? If it's people-pleasing and I'm a people, I should be part of that. We need to start including ourselves. So 2025, a year of more you, including you. The more you include you, the more you can include others. We've got this back to front. It should also be a year of paying attention to more being and actually less doing. The more that's going on, the more we should stand still. This whole chasing our tail that gets glorified, it's the worst we can do to our mind, body, and soul. I'm doing crossing overs in sessions for many, many years. And I'm yet to hear anyone when I do a crossing over, I wish I would have done more work. I wish I would have written more emails and spent more hours in the office. I wish I would have spent more time on social media. I wish I would have done more laundry. There is the occasion I wish I would have played more golf. But the whole, we need to stand still and like, what is the things I think I need to do? And what are the things that actually feed me, my family, my loved ones? We declare a lot of things as act of love, and it's actually, in many ways, in its totality, taking away from it. So less doing, more being present, being in the moment, truly, not just sitting there and your head is somewhere else, being present. How often did you have like conversations or said something, heard something, and a week later somebody refers to the conversation, you go like, I know I was there. Because we're not present, we're always ahead of time. And no, it's not the age, it's not the menopause, it's not we're busy, we're not present. Let's go back home. We've got to come back home this year. Last year was all over out there, putting out fires, just that, the next thing, because we weren't home. And we had to tie up loose ends, all of this. This year is go back home, here. It stands and falls with this. It's also about more allowing and less doing, controlling and planning. What is the stress part? We constantly think we're not on top of things. On top of what things? It's not like any of us has been given the list what's going to happen the next 50 years that we can tick off. Again, it takes us away from being in the here and the now. Allowing. We like this control thing because it gives us a full sense of security. All it really does is really starting a cycle of self-destruction, actually, and ill health. Let's not go there for now. But also 2025 to be a year where you truly pay attention to yourself. See yourself. I mean, really see yourself. Not like, oh, it's too much here, less here, I need to lose weight, I need to do this, my hair is too this. Not criticizing yourself. Not judging yourself, but seeing yourself. Who am I? What feeds me? Where do I need more gentleness for myself and grace for myself? Where have I not met myself? We keep on overrunning ourselves and become those doers for others. But who am I? Where am I? Where are my vulnerabilities that I overran because of the sake of doing and just carrying on? Truly see yourself. And most of all, start really liking that. That's the hardest part. It's we easily invest in others, easily see all of that in others, but ourselves, truly give yourself the gift of seeing yourself. Ideally, fall madly in love with yourself, but let's do baby steps. Also, time with yourself. True time with yourself. How many people are like, okay, now I need to do something. Because we can't sit still, because our worthiness and our being is defined by what we do. People get edgy. I'm generalizing. Of course, there's exceptions. There's more awareness of different levels, of course, but we get edgy if we don't do. Firstly, we define ourselves by the doing. And secondly, if we don't do, guess what's happening? Our inner stuff comes up. And very often we don't want to deal with that for different reasons. It can be overwhelming. It can be stuff that we've been ignoring or suppressing for a long time. It's not always pretty, but it's also not loving. We're ignoring ourselves in many ways and do. That's why we don't want to sit still. But part of self-love, which is a big topic this year, is embracing all of you. There ain't anything wrong with you. Never been. Never ever been. There's this whole, so many people struggle with worthiness. Fact is, alone the fact that you're born, that you're physically here, you know what? You're qualified. You ran the gauntlet, the universe decided you're more than worthy to be here. Done. Finished. Have you ever seen a toddler who is questioning its worthiness? That's your birthright. And somewhere along the line, we forget that. Future circumstances, whatever. And then we spend lots of our time trying to earn it back. There ain't anything to be earned. Give yourself permission to step into it. Nobody can give it to you. It's great to have people who encourage it, those spaces and places and jobs. But that ain't something you have to prove, to earn, or to work for. That's yours. You're here, you're born, you're worthy, full stop. And where you want to take this, it's entirely up to you. But you don't need to reinvent the wheel. You're worthy, you're here. And if you're not sure, look in the mirror. If you see yourself, done. Done. The rest are stories we've attached. We need to look at those stories. Also, this year is about accepting and nurturing yourself. How many of us can look in the mirror and look at our history and look at our past and we go like, I should have, I could have, why didn't I? How stupid was I? I should have seen it. I should have known that. I should have avoided this. Should have. All the negative judgment of who we are. How many of us look in the mirror and say, hey girl, well, you put your foot into it a few times, but darn, did you also go out there and walk your path? How much have you overcome? How much have you learned? How have you grown? See where you are. Have we accepted that as well? Are we showing ourselves that grace? This year is about coming back in, coming back home. Last year pulled us a lot out there. This year is about bringing it back home. Others are important, yes, there are. But we cannot find our worthiness, our being, and our journey in others. They can walk with us. They can accompany us. But we can only find it here. We can spend an entire lifetime looking for ourselves in other people, places, and spaces, and we ain't going to find it. Because it's already here. Also, what I find a lot, lots of us hesitate to take up space. We're very good with creating spaces and places and voices and all of that for other people. But that's for other people. When I say to people, speak up, say what's important to you. You don't need to go fight, but speak up. It's important who you are, how you feel, what's important to you, how you need to be seen, how you need to be met. It is so valid. Yes, but. There is no but. Valid. Full stop. No, that's for others. That one is valid, and this one is worthy, and this one is this, and this one is that. That's others. The separation nonsense needs to stop. There is no such thing. Again, you're born, right? You're in the mirror, right? You're here. So like it or not, you connected. You connected with every single one, and whether you're not more or not less than anyone else. The rest is your story that you attach. None of you is more or less than the person sitting next to you, behind you, in front of you, no matter what they look like, the jobs they have, the money they have, or whatever. You're made out of the same stuff. We dress it up differently. Same stuff. The rest is our story. Question your story and take up space. Now, this year is about taking up space. Last year was putting out fires and learning and doing all of that. This year is like, I've done the spring clean. This is like, what am I going to do with the space now? Please get cocky with it. You work to get the space. And some new beginnings in creating spaces was hard. And it was gut-wrenching. But it's still a space. Some came easier than others. Some you had a choice and some you didn't. But it's still a space. And that's where your choice is. You don't always have a choice under circumstances. But sure, you have the choice what you're going to do with it and how you're going to meet it. And this is what this year is all about. It's about you. And now already they go like, oh my God, I feel guilty about it. That's selfish. Well, let's put it that way. Let's make it self-wish. I wish upon myself what I wish for everybody else. I wish that I be seen. I wish that I be heard. that I wish that I meet myself at the same kindness, grade, and love that I'm actually match, see, and meet everybody else. I want to be as forgiving for myself as I forgive others. And yes, there is going to be a few people like that are not matching that. You know what? It's an act of kindness if you stop entertaining them. You do not owe people or circumstances or anything to have them in your space if that's not beneficial. Because if it ain't beneficial for you, I promise you it ain't for them. That's the law of energy. Let's stop being so nice when it's damaging, because it ain't nice. It's self-destructive. Niceness is a disease. And I'm not talking about the general niceness, about like, hello, how are you? I'm fine, thank you. I'm not talking about that. Entertaining people and spaces and places that are toxic ain't nice. And you do not owe it, no matter how it comes dressed up, if they're related to you, if it's your boss, if it's you, I don't care if it's the Pope. It does not matter. Energy is energy is energy. We are all the same anyway. And if it doesn't match, it ain't yours. There was a lot of family stuff going on last year that came out energetically. And lots of people were like showing their true faces, and lots of relationships, and not just family, but also personally have changed a lot and shifted a lot. And it's okay to leave some behind, because simply they are not in your best interest. It's not good, it's not bad, it just ain't yours. And you do not owe anybody, no matter how much they might guilt trip, after everything I've done for you. Yeah, you keep on doing that. That's fine. Lots of guilting, blackmailing, all of that. If it doesn't match your energy and if it's damaging for you, it's a no. So this is a year of being selective as well. Yes, be picky. So this year is about, if you want to promise to yourself something for this year, it's like put yourself in the middle of it. 2025 is yours. And I want you to do this more conscious than ever before, because quite a few of us are quite battered. Rightfully so, make space for that. It's valid, but it's not a determining factor for this year. So this year is like, if we want to make some pledges to ourselves, then let's pledge to rest before our bodies force us, to put our feet up without feeling guilty, to give ourselves the right, the space, and permission, because that's all it takes, to honor ourselves. Believe me, others will adapt, and they will be the beneficiaries anyway. What goes in comes out. That's how it is. And you will be surprised how many people are quite capable of stepping up and learning themselves, because in many ways, we are in their way without knowing. So there is this big thing going on, like, let them. Let this year be about you, so that it can be about them, that the interconnectedness that is there anyway can be way smoother. We're so busy in other people's lives trying to help them and hold them and this and that and the next thing. Like, who's walking our journey? If we're more in our lane and they're more in their lanes, you can still do that. There's way better traffic flow. Way better traffic flow. So this year is also just pledge to yourself to stop and to allow. And if you don't feel like it, guess what? You don't feel like it. Nobody can make you. Nobody can make you. We've got a lot to learn from kids. I don't want to. Why not? Because I don't want to. Good enough reason. I don't feel like it. And if you can, don't do it. Why? Why do you have to? Why? Also, most of all, let's pledge to strip away those layers of perfection that we think we need to show up out there, to reveal the flaws and wondrous humanity we truly are inside. Let's face it, we're all such a glorious mess, aren't we? Just different kind of messes all coming together. Yet we go out there, it's like, nobody can pick that up. They must all think I've got my stuff together. of us are a little bit all over the place. We're human. That's what we're here for. If I see perfect people, I get freaked out because it's either good medication or you're in some kind of denial trip. That's not what we are about. That's not what we're here for. We're not designed to be perfect. It doesn't exist, doesn't even exist in nature. So who do we think we're fooling? Allow yourself to be who you are. That is what actually makes you relatable. This is what we connect on. How often do you look for to find your right kind of weird? You don't look for you don't look for your right kind of, oh, where's my other matching perfection? Oh, flip, this is a lot of work. That's pressure. Because you can't just be you. I can't have a potty mouth. I have to walk straight. I have to cross my legs. I have to wear proper clothes. So it's like, do I want to do that 24/7? Or you want to find your tribe where you can just be you, and if you want to, you ride into the sunset with whatever and scream, yeehaw, if you want to, no matter how old you are. Allow and embrace yourself to be who you are, or at least have a space or a tribe within your life where that is totally not just acceptable, but required as an entrance fee. Allow that. That's your soul food. Perfection doesn't exist. It's exhausting. It makes you sick. Dr. Heike has spoken. So this year, let's start this year with no more falling in too many demands, unless they suit us in our growth games. More us in it. And let's just learn to accept that we're always supposed to be imperfect. Perfectly imperfect. Perfectly imperfect. It's way more fun as well. Way more fun as well. And also when we find that kind of beauty and acceptance of ourselves, this ride of 25 and any other year to come is a much easier, more joyful one. It takes a lot of burden off already. Because just being is way easier to maintain than keeping up certain expectations that we have of ourselves, or others, we think that others have of ourselves. So let 2025 be the year in which we try more than ever not to fall into the trap of comparing our gloriously flawed and authentically messy wondrousness to something that requires to be anything less of us. If you can't be your quirky, wonderful, messy self, don't pay too much entrance fee for that, if at all. So that's me for now, because I can talk forever. Happy 2025, and give it more of you. Thank you.